What's up everybody out there in YouTube land? I am Robin Fierce and welcome to another tutorial. In the last one, y'all know, I forgot to record the second half. So, in this video, we're pretty much going over the second half of my makeup routine, which is complexion. If you want to see how we got to this look, stick around. We're gonna do a little bit of complexion. But before we get to the tutorial, please go and download, stream, buy, all the things. Bad Bitchery, my first single out right now. I worked so hard on it. I love the song so much and I hope you guys do too. With that being said, we need a little Bad Bitchery and that's a fact. So let's get Bad Bitcherified. The tutorial starts now. Y'all hear this ice cream truck? It is 8:30 and there's an ice cream truck out there. I have to think, and it's dark now, so I just always have to think anytime I hear an ice cream truck at this time, this late, which is not super late, but it's also dark outside. Y'all gotta be selling other stuff besides ice cream. All right, so I did one eye. We're gonna do the other one. I'm gonna walk you through it really quick. Like I said, this is about the complexion. So let's get started on this eye. First of all, I am using the Blend Bunny palette. Which one is this? This is All Done Up. So this is pretty much a bunch of like nude shades, shimmers, and little transition colors and stuff. This is like a really good travel palette for me, and also like as a freelance makeup artist, this is one that I would have definitely like had in my kit when I was taking clients and stuff. So let's get started. We are going to start with our darkest color. So we're gonna immediately go in with this black, and then really start to define our eyes. What is this called? The outer V. Really just pack in that black on the outer V so that we can get some good color. I also love that they have these other shades of brown in here too. Now, when I was a freelance makeup artist, because I was, many jobs, when I was a freelance makeup artist, if I would have had this palette, I would have been just set. Because it literally, it could work for everybody who is trying to do different, like just nude shades, and you can make so many different eyes with this, and it's complementary to, I feel like, many people. We all have those brands that are just like our go-tos. This is one of them. Now I'm gonna take the One Size Concealer. This is, again, my go-to. I also like using it just to like cut the crease and be my eyeshadow base. Alright, so now that the crease is cut, we're gonna go in with our white and just pack that on while the cream is still wet, because everybody likes it wet. Let me stop before I get banned from YouTube. So now what I found is I didn't want it this white, but I still wanted it to pop, so I took a little bit of a gold shimmer in the same palette and just popped it here where it still gives that open-eyed moment, but it dims that white a little bit. And what is an eye without a good transition? So we're gonna take a little bit of that brown. Then you can go back in with your black and boost that again if you feel like it was lost a little bit. Now don't forget to highlight that brow. We are gonna take a little bit of Featured and Knocked Out. And you're gonna start where you want it to be highlighted the most and pretty much just feather that out from there. Bring it out, bring it down, bring it out, bring it down, bring it out, bring it down, bring it out, bring it down. That's gonna be my next single. Putting a little white under the eye to give the illusion of a bigger eye. In the words of Nikki Tutorial, set it and forget it. Then under the eye, I don't go straight in with a black. I just use a darker brown than what we were using before, connecting our top with our bottom. And here at the Robin Fierce channel, we love connecting tops with bottom. Then I'm gonna pop on some liner. I'm using the One Size Point Made. I'm not doing a whole wing, but I'm just doing a little bit so I can blend the lash later. Okay, so the only thing I'm not gonna do to the eye right now is do the inner line of the eyeliner and my mascara. I'm gonna save that to the end because I don't want the creams and powders and all that stuff to mess that up. I want that to stay as black and precise as possible. So now, finally moving on to the complexion part of this makeup tutorial. Like always, I'm gonna start with my tried and true, the One Size Secure the Blur Primer. This is literally one of my favorite primers. And ever since I discovered this, I have not switched to another one. This is a blurring primer and it blurs, and Sometimes we just need to blur our sins away, okay? And now that I have that on, I'm going to start with my color corrector. This is the Kimchi, the Most Concealer in shade Orange. For me, I want this to be a little lighter, so I mix in my highlighting cream with it. And now it's time to use those fingies, baby. Just use those fingers and blend that in. In the words of Manila Luzon, your fingers are your best tool. I don't know if she came up with that, but she was the first person that I heard say it. So I'm gonna say in the words of Manila Luzon. We are getting rid of those dark circles. We are getting rid of that bearded area moment. And now that she's corrected, I always like to go in and set it. I don't want this orange to peek through in my foundation, but I also set all of my primer as well because this bitch is very oily and I want the makeup to last all day. So I set everything. I literally dumped all of my setting powder on my lap. Why is something always happening every time I film these videos? And I'm almost out of this. Dump this back. Now, try to save as much as possible. You ever go to church and just clap? All right, now that I'm done making a mess with setting powder, let's move on, okay? So you're gonna dust off all of that setting powder that you put on before you do your foundation. What? Oh. Almost lost it. I thought I left my, y'all, I thought I left my foundation in California. So much is happening in these few moments. And I'm not even done with the face. Okay. So I actually use two different foundations. I use the Kosas in shade A12 and I use Juvia's Place in shade Savanna. I mix these two on my makeup sponge just like this. I like the skincare aspects in the Kosas. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but I also like the coverage and finish of the Juvia's Place. And together they are the perfect combination for me. I also like to use this one, the Kosas one, because it has like some skincare stuff in there when I'm just doing like a boy beat and I don't want a heavy foundation. It's very light, easy to blend. Let me know in the comments if you want me to do an out of drag makeup tutorial, like my confessional look or my what you packing look, just a simple, natural, soft glam, I guess it would be called, makeup tutorial. All right, so for the cream highlighting portion of this process, we are gonna use 3 products. We are gonna use 2 one-size products and 1 Kimchi Chic product. We are gonna go in with Fair 4 and Medium Dark 1 first, and then later we're going to use just pure white. Pure white, you would be shocked, but I do use a white highlighter. So first I want to highlight the center of the face more than anything. So I go in with my lighter one size shade here. Also do it down the nose, there, and a little bit, not too much on the chin, and then the ends as well. And then to add a little dimension, I go in with the darker color there, and that's really just gonna mix in. We really wanna highlight the center of the face. Everybody at home say it together. When I say highlight, you say center of the face. Highlight, highlight, highlight the center of the face. And we're gonna use this on the bottom of the chin as well. Then we're gonna go in and do our contour. I like to use the cream bronzer in Hazelnut by Anastasia Beverly Hills on a brush, and we're just gonna, this brush needs to be cleaned so bad. Y'all, clean your brushes at home. Clean your brushes at home. When I was a freelancer, I would clean my brushes constantly, but now I would hate to send this brush to a lab and see all of the things that are in here. So with the cheeks, we are emphasizing those right there, building that shadow. With the edges of the jaw, we want to make that disappear. So I am bringing that back a little bit. With the edges of this chin to disappear a little bit too. And then hide the Adam's apple, even though you can still see it from the profile. But drag is to be enjoyed from the front. So we are doing all the things to reshape, hide our sins, and really just get the love it, fantasy. Ooh. I recently got into cream blush and it really does add something. It's hard to describe what it adds. It's just magic. I add that with a brush right in the center of the contour and the highlight. And you'll notice that I did not do my nose yet, but we will. We're getting there. Be patient. We got a little bit of video to go. Sit back and enjoy. That was supposed to be dramatic, and this thing is brand new. Okay, there we go. For me, I start with the highlight portion, making sure that the brightest parts stay in the center. I spray my face with setting spray before I start blending it out, just to really get all of those ingredients into the actual cream so that the makeup lasts longer, and so that all of these creams really blend really nicely together. And honestly, ever since I started doing it, I feel like my foundation application is just even smoother. So try it at home, let me know what you guys think. It is honestly one of my makeup hacks that I didn't make up myself, but since I started doing it, love and have not gone back. Then we're gonna go right into the blush and blend that in, blending that up. Very cute, very cunt. And then the contour. Just look at how everything blends so nice, so smooth. And that's the power of setting spray, baby. Do y'all remember those Pine Sol commercials? Those were like my favorite thing. I wanted to be in a Pine Sol commercial so bad. Meanwhile, I hate cleaning, but you know, who does? Also, very important, don't forget to bring that contour behind the ear so that you don't have a floating jaw. Who wants a floating jaw? Nobody looks good with a floating jaw. You just have a chin strap there. Make sure you blend it to the back. If you want a floating jaw, have a floating jaw, baby. It's your face. Do what you want. But generally, I would say blend this all the way as far back as you can so that everything looks seamless and on one accord. Everybody say one accord. And this is the Church of Fierce. Another thing too is when I first started drag, I would use 3 different sponges to do my face. I would use one for highlight, one for contour, and one for foundation. And honestly, it's a little time consuming, and also you're wasting so much money continuously buying multiple sponges. You can get a sponge like this. There are other sponges as well, but this one is my favorite one. Each side basically represents a different part of your makeup. Like I use this side for my highlight. I use this portion for my blush. I use this side for my contour. I use this side for my overall foundation. And then if you want to go over pieces with different colors and stuff, you can, all in one sponge. So definitely recommend getting yourself a sponge with different sides. So now, as some of y'all have noticed, I do not have a nose contour on. That is what we are doing right now. Honestly, my nose contour took me the longest to figure out, and I feel like it's always changing, it's always growing. But doing a good cream base on my nose, because I have a wider nose, really helped me shape my nose how I wanted to. And really, it's about experimenting. Everybody's nose is different, so you gotta find your way, but this is how I contour my nose. So if y'all are out there with a wider nose like me, and you do wanna contour it, if you don't wanna contour it, that's fine. We love a natural nose. But for drag, this is just how I do my nose. So I'm using another Kimchi Chic Beauty product. I go in right with the brush, the doe foot applicator that's on here, and really shape the nose with that. I used to do it with a brush, but like it already has a brush, so why not use it? Also, another tip of mine is I don't bring the cream all the way around the nose. I put it in the center right there, and then I kind of blend it up, blend it down, blend it how I need to. This is also the part where I go in with that white concealer. I need to get more of this. I am running out. Do I have enough? Yes, okay. This is where I go in with the white concealer, and I really boost the center of the face again, and just put a little bit there. Throw it there. Boom. Nose. And boom. And back to the wise words of Manila Luzon. Why did I sound like the orange-haired witch from The Coven? But yeah, back to the wise words of Manila Luzon. Your fingers are your best tool. Said lesbians. Everywhere. And I really just go in with my fingers and blend out the nose contour. I used to use the tiniest little beauty blender to do my nose and my nose only. But when I went to Drag Race, I was packing up all my makeup and some products I just left on my bed. Like I got a whole pack of brand new Lash Corp lashes. I probably bought like 10 different pairs. And then I had some of my sponges and stuff. Literally, I got to Drag Race, left all my new lashes. So I was using all my crusty lashes and left some of my sponges. And when I went the first day, I'm just like, oh my gosh, they're on my bed. What am I gonna do? They're literally on my bed. Like, how am I gonna do my nose? And I'm just like, all right, well, this has to get done. So the smallest thing I had on me was my finger. So I use my finger now to do my nose contour. Also right now I have these acrylic nails on. This is my first set. So to get up in there, I will use my knuckle. Look at how useful fingers are. And for me, I don't bring the cream all the way up to my brow. I will powder contour there. So we will do that a little later. Okay, and then going back to our makeup sponge on the highlighting side and just getting those little bits and blending that upwards into the nose to soften that contour, but not all the way, not all the way. And then you can take your foundation side, soften those edges. Everything come together. See, contour side, getting that, getting that. And you thought I forgot about the white on the bridge of my nose. I did not. Sometimes I like to let some products sit there a little bit so that they dry down a little bit so that they don't spread a bunch. Like when I do my highlight here, I let it sit a little bit so it doesn't spread all over my face. I want it to stay right there. And same thing with my nose. When I do my nose, I like it to sit just a little bit so it dries down so it's not spreading all over. I want it to stay right there and right there. And then I just blend that out. Again with the finger. Now if you're using your fingers as a tool, you want to make sure that they are clean after you go through and do one step. But you also have 10 fingers. So you can use one finger for contour, one finger for highlight, one finger for, well, I'll leave deciding what fingers do what to you. So you go through, check your face, make sure there's no lines, no creases, and it doesn't hurt to just do it anyway. So for me, I crease here, especially when I'm talking, like I'm talking to y'all right now, and I crease a little bit under here. So before I go with my setting powder, I'm going to make sure those are blended, those are smooth, and then I'm gonna go in with the one size setting powder, the ultimate setting powder, and set. And also part of this process is starting with the places that crease the fastest. So I'm starting with my under eye and my frown lines. Set the rest of the face with the little bit of setting powder that I have, because I dropped it all on my leg, girl, all on my legs. And then on my nose, I will go down my finger and put a little extra, because I have an oily T-zone, but also to boost that highlight. And the same thing like the nose, I'll also add more to the highlighted portions of my face and let that bake. Dust off your excess powder. You just want to make sure the mug stays on. So, set it, set it, set it, set it, set it. Now pretty much starts the second half of the complexion, which is the powder. So basically everything that we did with the creams, we are redoing with the powders. Makeup is a process, and now we are at the final steps. So, let's go. First off, we're gonna start with the contour. I use the Juvia's Place bronzer in Deep Dark. So I go in with my deepest one first, and then I mix a little bit of that light top part. Already, look at her, girl. Pro-ish tip, I guess, is to make sure you're blending upwards. You don't want to bring too much down because your cheeks are just gonna look saggy, unless that's what you want, and that's fine. With my makeup specifically, I kind of keep with the natural features while still exaggerating and creating new ones. There's so many different ways to contour, so many different ways to do your makeup. It's really all an experimentation and figuring out what works for you, what do you like. And even y'all watching my video right now, you might be learning something, but just because I do something a certain way doesn't mean you can't take what I'm teaching you and apply it in your own way. Like when I first started doing makeup, there were parts of Trixie Mattel's makeup, watching her do it, that I took and I'm like, oh, I like how she does that. And I applied it to myself, but in my own way. Do I look like Trixie Mattel? No. But you can learn from anyone. Some things you might learn what not to do, but some things you might learn a new way of doing it for you. Now for the jaw contour, I do like it to be soft, but also I do go in on the contour. So I start with my darkest one, and the parts that I want to erase is where I hit first. Or the parts that I want to soften, I hit first. I'll hit the pan with the darker one, kind of pop that on there. Pop it on when I want to disappear the chin a little bit. Same thing on the other side. And again, we're gonna bring it to the back. And then for the rest of my contour, I'll go in with the lighter one and mix it with the darker one so that it's not too heavy. Because I feel like for me, I don't need a lot down there, but I still need it. I also make this silly face so I can see how the chin expresses, I guess. I mean, at the end of the day, it's still drag, so we do go in. Contouring down here too, just a little bit. Then we're doing that blush trio again. So the cream is here, and then you have your powders here. I mix the shimmer with the matte, just like that. Boop, 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 boop. And then I kind of just poke on where I want the blush to go, because I don't want the blush to go all the way down here. I poke it on, boop, boop, boop. I also use 2 different blushes, so we're going to use another one later. I'm not going to bring it all the way down here. I want this one to stay up here. Then I go in with a lighter blush later. We want to add dimension. Once you have your blush placed, that's when I start to do the little circular motions to really blend it out. So we're going to cut the cheek again, and then I'm going to take a thinner blending brush. It's gonna blend nicely, and then I go in first with my lighter contour color. Do the center to tip of my nose, and then basically follow what I did before. The only difference now is I'm going to bring it up to the eyebrow instead of just leaving it down here. And you blend it into the eyeshadow. It's all about adding depth, so we're gonna go in with that darker color and do that right at the tip of the nose. This is also another part where I bake. Put that on the side following that nose contour. It's gonna soften those edges and just help pop that highlight. Is she gorgeous yet? Is it giving yet? Am I mothering yet? We're at the home stretch of Complexion. Now it's time to just dust off all of our excess. Dusting off the rest of this powder. So now, take a little fluffy, dense brush like this. I don't know the names and the different kinds of brushes. I just know what I like to use, but whatever this brush is, this is the Anastasia A7 brush. I don't know what it's specifically for, but I like to use this to boost my highlight. So I take the One Size Powder Foundations. This one is in Fair Neutral Golden. Take a little bit, just like that, and boost the highlight right in the center. Because again, we want to keep the brightness here. And especially for like stage stuff. On camera, I probably don't need to be doing it as much as I am. But for on stage, this, amazing. So I guess in a way, I paint for the back row. No, I think I paint for the middle row. So it works for pretty much everybody. The people in the back might struggle a little bit, but still recognize that I look good. And then on a thin brush, you can do a little bit on the nose too. And don't forget the tip. One thing that you can do that I'm not doing today, because I'm fine with where it is, before you dust off your setting powder underneath, you can just go back in and touch up under the eye. Hello, Miss Baby Doll.
Hold on, Robin.
Say,
some fans here that say they know of you from
wait.
I think Robin Fears is Fears, and it was like, yeah. It was like, that's her name. I was like, just because that's her name doesn't mean she's fierce.
Wow. Do y'all hear this, YouTube land? Say hi to Malaysia.
Hold up. Let me walk down. I'm gonna call you back when I leave work.
Okay, wait. Say hi, YouTube. Wait. Say hi. Malaysia Baby Doll Fox just interrupting the video. Everybody, make sure to go follow and give Miss Malaysia some love. Your Miss Congeniality, darling. Honestly, I did vote for her. She's one of the people that I voted for. But I love me some Miss Baby Doll Fox. Oh my god! I just realized by the time y'all see this, the finale would have happened, my song would be out, and y'all would know the winner and know who's Miss Congeniality. So, first of all, congratulations to Miss Baby Doll Fox. And second of all, congratulations to whoever is our winner. I don't even know who that is yet at this point, but I'm very excited to find out. And again, congratulations, whichever one of y'all won. All of y'all did an amazing job. Congratulations to all of my sisters for an amazing, 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 amazing season. I'm so proud and excited to be a part of the sickening 16. Also, my song, Bad Bitchery, will be out the day of the finale. So if y'all are not streaming it, didn't buy it, it's across all streaming platforms. You can also buy it on iTunes, which is a little better for me. But however you get it is how you get it. So be sure to stream, buy, listen to Bad Bitchery. It's a fierce song, if I do say so myself. Okay, now on to the rest of the face, because we're on. Oh! I'm looking at myself in the viewfinder. She looks good. She's a pretty girl. She's a very pretty girl. Ooh. Okay, let me finish this face. Now it's time for the highlight. As y'all saw in my last video, I get torrential with the setting spray. I don't use that much, but I do wet the face before I do the highlight because it really just makes the highlight just pop a little bit more and it sits exactly where you put it. One thing about spraying the face first is when the light hits it, you really see where it reflects the most. It's kind of a guide for you when you're putting your highlight on. So remember, I told y'all that I use two blushes. This is where I use the second one. It's a little bit lighter and I use it to blend the edges of my powder work with my highlight a little more. So I'm going to go in with Peach Love. I don't know why I'm whispering. If you feel like you need to, you can boost those highlights again, boost whatever colors, because also when you do the setting spray, I feel like it settles everything. So you might need to just add just a little bit more. My final step before complexion is done, every makeup artist needs to have this in their arsenal, is a little bit of bronzer. When I'm in drag, I use Mahogany by Anastasia, Beverly. If I'm out of drag, I usually use Sable and this together. There's another one that's in between, which was really perfect for me, but I got this one and the other one for free, so I used the free shit. So on my bronzing brush, and this is actually my favorite bronzing brush, I got this one from Morphe. It is the M527. It sounds like a robot from Star Wars. It really does, but I really just go through all the edges in between the contour and the blush. And I'm pretty much just, one, adding more color to the face, but also softening my edges. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with the complexion, and now I'm gonna finish up the face. I'll be right back so y'all can see the full final look, girl, the whole final look. Oh, I'm breaking shit. All right, I'll be right back. And here we are at the end of this video. Thank you guys so much for sticking with me. This is my complexion routine. Of course, it is always changing, always growing, and I'm always learning more, but thank you guys so much for joining me for this edition of, I don't know what this is called, Rob Fierce Tutorials. I will see you guys in the next one, but in the meantime, don't forget to stream Bad Bitchery on all streaming platforms. You can get it right now. Right now. I worked so hard on it, and I cannot believe I finally did it. So, please stream, like, share, all of the things. Bad Bitchery out now, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.